the sound of the dying child in me.
Wait, what did he say?
I said my
Exactly.
ears just way too
Brand new Surfcurse album has just dropped. This is their full studio album and it's titled Magichour. I'm repping my Surfcurse merch today, which I picked up at their London show. They were absolutely brilliant. The crowd was fantastic, and as expected, the music was sensational. I'm pretty sure they played a few of their new songs on this album, so I may recognize a few when I'm listening to it. But in terms of what they've released so far, they've released 5 singles to date. I've actually only listened to 2 of them, which is TVI and Lost Honor. I love both of these songs, and I've listened to them pretty religiously over the last few weeks. I especially love TVI and the last minute or so of Lost Honor. So I'm really looking forward to see what else they have on this album. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight into the album. I'll be doing a tier list as well, but I'll explain that when we get to it. And yeah, let's get going with the first song, which is Arrow.
talking to myself, but I don't know what to say. There's a shadow on my smile. Guess I should work on my aim. Lost in time and angel's breath. Bitter armor for the shade. Bitter armor for the shade. There's a shadow on my smile. Leave a light on for the pain.
Okay, so that was Arrow, the opening track on Magichour, and I'm pretty sure that was one of the singles that came out a couple of weeks ago. I'm pretty sure, let me double check. Yes, that was one of the most recent singles they've released. I definitely do recognise hearing that live, because I remember how fast paced it was, and it was a good one to be in the crowd with for that one. But a really solid start to the album there, a really cool song to begin with. You know, it keeps up that, you know, the guitar work that Surfcurse are known so famously for, and a really, really cool guitar solo as well that went on for pretty much half the song. It's only a 2-minute song, and about a minute of that was the guitar solo, which is really cool. I really like that. So as I mentioned at the start of the video, I will be doing a tier list during this video. So yeah, first impressions of the song I hear, I'll put them in these designated tiers here. Most of them are pretty self-explanatory. You know, the lower it is, the less I like it. And then at the top there, we've got Labyrinth. So Labyrinth was a song released about 3 or 4 years ago, I think, on the album Heaven Surrounds You, which is an album actually I haven't listened to all the way through. So I will be doing a reaction to that on this channel as well. But yeah, Labyrinth is, I think, probably the first Surfcurse song I ever heard, and I just fell in love with it instantly. So yeah, that's the top of the tier. So if there's any songs that go on par with Labyrinth, spoiler alert, there is already one. But yeah, if any songs go on that sort of tier of Labyrinth, then I'll be very happy, because that means that it's one of my favourite Surfcurse songs. And then just below that, you got straight in my playlist, which means if I hear it and I like it, it'll go straight into my Spotify playlist. And yeah, the other 3, you know, re-listen. Maybe I want to give it another listen to see if I like it or not. Not for me, you know, some songs just don't really click. And bottom one, Miss, which is, you know, a song that, you know, I'm going to have to pretty much hate a song for it to be down there. So I doubt there'll be any on this album, but you never know. But yeah, going back to Arrow, the opening track, yeah, I really enjoyed that one. I'll probably put that one straight into my playlist. I did really enjoy that. A really solid start to the album, though. Maybe that's setting the pace for how the album's going to be, quite high tempo. So yeah, let's move on to the second song, which is Caffeine. So let's see if that pacing continues. Okay, so that was number 2, Caffeine. I won't lie, the start, I think it's a bit of a slow start, but it definitely grew on me as the song went on. I really loved the drum work, especially during the bridge there with the da 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 da. I really did like that. I mean, we all know how good Nick is on the drums for, you you know, Current Joys and for Surfcurse, but it's just another song that really shows how good he is. But overall, I think it's a really cool song, one that I'm really eager to listen to again straight away. But despite that, I will definitely put it straight to my playlist. Yeah, I really want to get back onto that one straight away because, like I said, a bit of a slow start for me. I was, you know, thinking, oh, this sounds a bit dull, but as it progressed, I really got into it, and towards the end as well, the last minute or so, really good. So now we're going to number 3, which is Sugar. I'm pretty sure this was the lead single from this album. I'm sure I've heard this one before, but if I have, it's only been once, and it might have been at the gig I went to. So yeah, let's get into it with Sugar.
I look like shit, but I feel even worse. Tell me you love me and give me some sugar. Cut it out, but I'll just fine. Love me and give me some sugar.
Well, that was a very cool song. I definitely remember hearing that one live because I remember the crowd was just, as you can imagine, the crowd was just going mental. And yeah, the outro as well. I distinctly remember the outro because I was thinking like, what the fuck's happening? But it's a really cool outro actually, very unique. Great chorus as well, a lot of high energy, great vocals as well. Sounded very good. And again, it's that use of the guitar licks. They're so good at they're simple but effective guitar licks. You see it in things like Freaks, where you know the whole song is that do 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 do, and it's really simple, easy to play, you know, easy to learn, all that kind of stuff. But it's so effective, and they had it in this song as well, going through the first verse, the chorus, and towards the end as well. So overall, very impressed with Sugar. I can see how it's the most popular song on there so far, and I can see why they used that as their lead single as well. So Sugar will definitely go straight into my playlist. So far we're 3 for 3. Arrow, Caffeine, and Sugar. So far for me personally, very happy. And that will then lead us on to number 4, which is Lost Honor, which like I said before, I've listened to it numerous times, so I won't include it in this video. What I'll do is I'll probably just transition straight to number 5, which is, I believe, Self-Portrait. So yeah, I'm just going to give Lost Honor another listen and then do Self-Portrait, and then what I'll do is we'll do the tier for both of those songs after I finish Self-Portrait.
Life's not always kind. You better get used to it to get me through it. Yeah! Through it.
Oh, that was a really cool song. Another one which I think I did hear it live, because I remember again that one being really popular with the crowd and things like that, as you can imagine listening to it. I think maybe that might have been maybe an alternative tuning, you know, maybe like I don't know, kind of reminded me, it was a lot more grungy than a lot of the other songs on here. It kind of had a bit of a Nirvana feel about it. It was just like a really cool riff that ran through the whole thing, and the chorus like really doubled down on that. It was a really cool song. I'm pretty sure that's the last song that has already been released, apart from TVI, that we've heard on this album so far, so the rest of them should be, you know, brand new. But yeah, as I mentioned, I'll be doing Lost Honor and Self-Portrait. So let's start off with Self-Portrait, the one we just listened to. Like I said, really cool, high energy, a song that was so good live. Yeah, like I said, had that kind of Nirvana feel to it, a lot more grungy. I really did enjoy that, and for that reason, Self-Portrait will join the other 3 songs on straight into playlist. Not much else to really say, just so far the album has just been really solid. And then in terms of Lost Honor, that again will go straight into my playlist. It was kind of tight between going to that tier above it, because I really do enjoy it. It's a fantastic riff to go through the song, really catchy, and just, I think all of these songs so far just really sound listenable, which, you know, is quite important with music. But I'm enjoying listening to them, which is the most important thing. And so with that brings us halfway through the album, and the next song is going to be called Unwell, which is 6 minutes long, which is by far the longest song we've had so far. So yeah, let's get going with number 6, which is Unwell. First bit of real distinct bass that we've heard so far, which is quite interesting.
I'm so worried to be alone, and it won't let go of me. Can you so unwell? In the age of the personal and I'm drifting away and I'm losing my goddamn mind. Can you see it?
So that was the longest song on the album, but honestly it didn't feel like more than 2 minutes. That was really enjoyable. I've definitely got a soft spot for songs that open with like a little bass riff or a bass line. So instantly, as soon as it started playing, I kind of really got into it. There's so much different guitar work going on during the song. You know, so many different guitar licks and solos and riffs. I especially liked the first lick that was playing during the first couple of minutes, and then there was a fantastic build up to the chorus as well, and then it eventually hit, and it hit hard. And I think there was quite a few weird chords going on there, but it really did work. Then you had the outro as well, which kind of reminded me a bit of Labyrinth actually, if you've heard it. Last minute where it's just the guitar playing and the drums and that kind of thing. A violin in there as well, which was actually a really nice touch. So yeah, Unwell. I'm usually a bit put off from longer songs, just because usually there's a lot of filler. Maybe there's, you know, some stuff in there that isn't necessarily music, like there's sometimes some dialogue and interludes, things like that. But this one was just 6 minutes of, you know, pure music, and I really did enjoy it. Again, 6 minutes, but it felt like 2 minutes. So many different things going on, so many different aspects. It didn't get boring, it changed it up when it needed to change up, and a really nice outro as well. So for that reason, believe it or not, it is going to the second tier, which is straight into my playlist. And yeah, there's a bit of a recurring theme going on so far, but yeah, maybe one of these songs could jump up to the next one, maybe drop down. Let's see, we've got about 6 more songs left, and let's get into the next one. And the next song is called Strange.
And it's so strange, breaking habits, darker days. Used to laugh, now it's pain. Big black magic. Never thought that I could be so manic. Running too far with you. Never thought that I could be so manic. I never wanted to. And it's so strange.
Okay, so that was song 7, Strange, and yeah, a lot more sort of laid back, a bit more chilled out. But I honestly think that kind of sets the pacing quite nicely for this album. You know, we got past the middle part, and now they kind of just throw like a more chilled one at us, and I think that kind of actually does really work in the sort of pattern that we've been going through so far of all the songs. So yeah, that set the pacing nicely, and there was another fantastic guitar solo towards the end as well. And yeah, honestly, I think that could be one of my favourites on the album so far. I think it's kind of sneaking up on me. Again, another one of those songs, quite a few on this album so far, where you kind of listen to it and it sounds a bit familiar to stuff you've heard before from surfcurse, but then it kind of goes its own sort of way. And yeah, I think Strange is another one of those songs where it kind of just crept up on me, and I wasn't expecting it to be, you know, well, weren't expected to enjoy it as much as I have. So for that reason, I'm going to stick to what I know and put it straight into my playlist. Yes, that's 7 songs in a row. And then the song after this is TVI, which I mentioned I've listened to before a lot of times. I love TVI. I'll do the tier for that after the next song. And that next song is Little Rock and Roller. So let's go straight on to number 9, and then we'll do the tier list for both. Okay, so start with Little Rock and Roller. A bit more slow tempo, a bit like Strange. It's kind of TVI's like sandwiched in between 2 pretty slower paced songs, which I think does work in this kind of order. Again, fantastic vocals, especially during the chorus, just sounded really good. That little, how he sung the last word on each line of the chorus was really good. And yeah, another enjoyable song. But I think I am going to have to put that one into re-listen, just because probably the first song on the album that hasn't really hit with me straight away. Nothing wrong with the song per se, just didn't really resonate with me in the way that other songs have. But I'm sure after a few more listens, I'll definitely be a big fan of it. So as I mentioned, I'll now move on to TVI, which was, I think, the first single they released. I'm pretty sure it was either that or Sugar. I can't remember. Yeah, one of the first singles they released during the build up to the album. What I try and usually do when there's an album coming out, I try not to listen to the singles as much because I want to hear it all for the first time. But at this point, I didn't actually know that Surfcurse were going to be releasing an album, so I listened to it and fell in love with the song straight away. Really do like it. Heard it live last week, and it's even better live somehow. The band were actually saying before they performed it how hard of a song it is to play. You can kind of understand why, the kind of tempo they have to keep and the riffs they're playing. And yeah, I think I just love the balance between the verses that are so kind of slow and a bit melancholic, and then you just move on to the chorus, which is just bang bang bang. So for that reason, TVI, well, it's gonna go straight to the top, I think. Yeah, I'd say TVI is definitely up there with one of my favorite Surfcurse songs. I think there's potential for a few of these songs in the straight into playlist tier to kind of go that one step further once I listen to it a few more times. I think especially Strange and Self-Portrait. I think Caffeine as well. I think they're some fantastic songs, and certainly Lost Honor as well. I do really like that one. But yeah, TVI is definitely the standout one for me so far. It has been since it got released, and yeah, last couple of months it's just been on repeat the whole time. So yeah, I'm just a massive fan of that song. Okay, so now we've got those 2 out the way. There is only 3 more songs left. We've got No Tomorrow's, Fear City, and Randall Flagg. We'll start with number 10, which is No Tomorrow's. Another kind of long song, 6 minutes long. So let's see how this one compares to Unwell. because I didn't really bring my head up for most of that song, but there's a good reason for that. That song did hit pretty hard. By far the slowest song we've had on the album so far, and I don't know, something about that song just really hit for me. I'm a really big fan of that sort of dream pop, melancholy feel, you know, the sort of songs that you kind of hear from Current Joys, which this song kind of felt a bit inspired by. Obviously, the drummer, Nick, is Current Joys, so obviously you'd have some sort of influence there, but it did feel like a song you'd hear from Current Joys. Yeah, I'm just such a big fan of those kind of songs, and again, a 6-minute song that just didn't really feel like it dragged on. It didn't feel like they were wasting time, and a really cool outro as well, where it just picked up the pace at the end. I think the one thing you can say about all these songs so far is that none of them have been boring, none of them have been pretty dull. They've all had their own sort of unique spin on it, and yeah, No Tomorrows is no exception to that. Another absolutely brilliant song. Yeah, really hit for me. I really enjoyed that one, and to be honest, I'm contemplating putting it at the top, right next to TVI. Yeah. Can't really explain it any more than that. It just really resonated with me. It worked for me personally. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of longer songs, but I can make an exception for songs like that. Okay, so I feel like that one might be a bit hard to top in regards to the last two songs, but we have two more left now, which are Fierce City and Randall Flagg. I think I'll let them both play through, and then we'll go back to the tier at the end of the video. Okay, so sorry the picture's changed or the quality's changed a little bit or whatever. Just had to change my camera because it ran out of battery. So yeah, as I was saying, I'm going to let the last two songs run through, which is Randall Flagg and Fierce City. And then after we're done with those two, we'll go straight back to the tier list and we'll put them in the rank. Exactly.
I lived here now for a while, but most of the time to just get lost in the day.
My life I screamed out, and no one can hear you in the walls of come and erase my nose, my eyes, my sin, my face. Times are hard enough without the changes. Higher than I can taste it.
Okay, so that was Randall Flagg and Fierce City. We'll start with Fierce City, and all I wrote down was weird. It was weird, but also unique. The lyrics are quite unique, and the kind of storytelling within the lyrics were quite unique. You know, the conversations they were having whilst they were singing. But the intro caught me off guard a little bit. Kind of sounded a bit like clown music at the start. So for that reason, I would say the first song on this album that probably just isn't for me. I appreciate it for what it is. Like I said, it's unique, but yeah, I just didn't. I had a mixed feeling whilst I was listening to it. I thought it was funny. I thought it was a funny song, but personally not for me. And that brings us on to Randall Flagg, the last song. And yeah, really nice way to sort of close out the album. Did enjoy this one. Kind of fit in with the rest of the songs more than Fierce City did. And yeah, just a really cool way to end the album. Kind of finished as it started, you know, similar sort of songs to Arrow and Caffeine, that kind of thing. Yeah, I thought that was a really solid way to round off the album as a whole. For that reason, I'll put Randall Flagg into, I'm going to put it into re-listen. I think it might just be a case of, you know, you're 12 songs into an album and it kind of didn't stand out as much as the other ones did, but I'm sure it'll be one of those songs where you listen to it a couple more times and it will click. But no way am I saying it was a bad song, just I think got to that point, you know, my camera just died, so I had to change that up and I kind of lost a bit of momentum, so maybe that played into it a little bit. But yeah, I'll put Randall Flagg into re-listen, and yeah, I'll definitely give it a few more goes. I'm sure I'll learn to like it. So yeah, as you can see on screen, that is the final tier list. Got two in the top tier, which is TVI and No Tomorrows. TVI, like I said, love that song, listened to it loads of times. No Tomorrows was the real surprise package in this album for me personally. Yeah, a really big fan of that one. I'm gonna listen to it as soon as I finish this recording as well. And then straight into my playlist, we've got Arrow, Caffeine, Sugar, Self-Portrait, Lost Honor, Unwell, and Strange. All these songs for me hit straight away. I really enjoyed all of them first time listening. Little Rock and Roller and Randall Flagg in the re-listen, I'll definitely be giving them another go. And not for me, Fierce City. Again, I appreciate it for what it is. It was a funny song, but yeah, for me personally, I'll give it another go. But yeah, not for me. So yeah, that was magichour by surfcurse, and overall I really enjoyed that album. I think it had a fantastic flow to it. I think each song kind of complemented each other, and they kind of worked really well in the structure they were put in. I liked how most of the songs were kind of familiar but had a nice little unique twist to them, which made them so much more listenable and enjoyable when you can recognize the sound, but you never really knew where it was going to go with the actual song. I think they picked the singles really well. They really highlighted how the kind of album would jump from more chill songs to more upbeat songs. Don't think there's anything in here that's on that sort of level of Freaks or Disco. Yeah, start to finish, I think it was a fantastic album. So many good songs in there, so many hits on there. Again, No Tomorrows is the standout song for me, along with TVI, and I'll probably put Strange in that bracket as well. I just think it's kind of rare to have an album where you listen to it, you finish it, and you kind of want to go straight again and listen to it all over again. And for me, that's how I feel right now. Like, I can't wait to dig into all these songs all over again. And yeah, I think the band has just further proved, you know, how good they are at making this kind of music, and you know, all the different guitar licks that are in there, the solos that are in there, and the production was fantastic as well. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about the album. Let me know what your favorite song was. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing. I'll be doing a lot more surfcurse and Current Joys content over the next few weeks and months. I've still got a few albums to react to, so they'll be coming on this channel. So if there's something you're interested in, then please consider subscribing. And yeah, I hope you have a nice day.